Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Heather and I'm a full-time reseller on both eBay and Amazon. And I've taken you along on my Amazon retail arbitrage journeys in the past, and the number one question I get asked is, how do you know what's discontinued? Is there a list? Is there some sort of secret software you're using? Like, how are you finding this stuff? And the truth is, I use multiple different techniques to sort of uncover these hidden gems, and I'm going to show you one today that I don't think anyone has ever talked about or mentioned before. So you might be asking yourself, why would you ungatekeep? Is that the right word? Ungatekeep? Why would you open the gate to people copying your system and taking stuff away from you? That's a great question, and it has two answers. One is that it's still going to take work. While I'm no stranger to work, it's a lot like telling somebody, here's a book that's going to change your life. They still have to open the book, they still have to read it, they still have to understand it, and they still have to apply the concepts. I truly think this system will work for all of us. Like, there's more than enough gems to mine. Number two is I have been very vocal about my successes with Amazon. A lot of people said they got into Amazon specifically because of me. And while I'll talk about it in a future video, there's something going on with Amazon right now that I've dubbed brand apocalypse, where it seems like Amazon is trying to completely get rid of unauthorized third-party retail arbitrage sellers like me and people like me. So by showing you this technique, I'm hoping to help you, like, any way I can to help you succeed in this extremely hard retail arbitrage climate right now. I want to do that. And no, this is not a sponsored video. I've actually never taken a sponsorship on this channel despite constantly being offered them. This is software that I've been using for 2 years and paying for out of my own pocket, and I would only recommend it to you because it has been so helpful to me. So without further ado, let's get into my secret bolo hunting technique. Roll the intro. I'm gonna clip this to my shirt so that my hands are free to use my laptop. But first I have to shrink us down just a little bit. Okay, so first things first, we're in the Smart Scout software. This is a software I use to mine gems, I call it. There's a lot of different things you can do with this software. It was not designed specifically to do what I do with it. It's really geared toward private label sellers and anybody who just wants to look at Amazon data and then use that data in specific ways for their business. So when I start on Smart Scout, I start with the Brands tab. And within the Brands tab, you have to brainstorm any brand that you want to deep dive and look for bolos within. So today we're just going to do Olay as an example, because I think Olay is a very common brand and it has a lot of products to go through. So you can see that we typed in Olay, and there's a couple here that clearly aren't Olay. This is the one we're looking for. And then when you come into it, it's going to show you a bunch of interesting data about that brand that, again, I think would be more interesting to you if you were a private label seller and maybe you wanted to know what the face cream landscape looked like. There's a lot of data within here that you can use for that. But the tab that I'm interested in is the products, which will bring up all of the Olay products, or at least a lot of them, not all of them. Because unfortunately, I have spoke with the people who designed this software. There are limitations where it does leave out some of the really old listings or listings that haven't had any activity in a long time, simply because there's just technological limitations with using large data sets. So I won't say every listing under the sun, but I will say it's most of them. So when we come into our products tab like this, we can see that it pulls up 418 Olay listings. So how can I drill this down to try and find discontinued Olay products? You'll want to come to the filter and look at these filters. There are a few different ways you can filter this, but there are a few that I think are the easiest way to do this. The first one being this Amazon in-stock rate. This will show you Amazon's in-stock rate for the past 90 days, I believe. So if you set this to 0, it'll bring up listings where Amazon has been out of stock for 3 months or more. Now, because I'm not just targeting stuff that Amazon fell off of a while ago, I'm also targeting gaps in the market where maybe there's a shortage going on. It's not discontinued, it's gonna come back later, but maybe there's not a lot of sellers, including Amazon, on it right now. So I personally don't do 0-0. I do 0 to 99 because I want to eliminate stuff that Amazon has been on continuously for the past 3 months. And if we do that and we click apply, we'll see that it brings us down to 257 listings. I think we can drill it down just a little further. And you can choose to do this a few different ways, but maybe you just want to see listings that do not have a lot of sellers on them. Now, a product can be discontinued and still have a lot of sellers on them. A product can be discontinued and still have Amazon on it, in fact. That's why I use multiple different ways to determine this kind of stuff, but this is just a good way to like start the leads. So you could do number of sellers, maybe you only want 0 to 5 sellers on it. That's probably a good place to start. And that brings us down to 127 listings. That's a good place for us to start. I'm gonna look through these 127 listings to find some hidden gems. Now, you can also reorder these columns any way you see fit. I like to look at the buy box price, so I'm gonna bring that over. Then we have our title and ASIN and pictures, which if you hover over, you get a big picture, so that's really helpful. And then I am actually going to sort buy box price high to low, so that we're looking at the highest price stuff first. One drawback of this system that is kind of annoying, I think, is that Amazon really doesn't have a good way of differentiating like 3-pack, 8-pack listings from single pack listings in a way that this software would be able to pick up on. So I personally ignore multi-pack listings because they're kind of a red herring. They can have few sellers on them, they can be high priced. Amazon's not always on multi-pack listings, but that doesn't mean anything. That does not mean it's a discontinued product. So I just pull the title out so that I can visually see like pack of 3, pack of 8, pack of 12, and just ignore those while I'm going down the list. So let's go down this list and see what the first product without a multi-pack is. We have this Olay Luminous Whip Moisturizer with SPF with a buy box price of $52. That looks pretty promising. So if we open it up within Smart Scout, we do have this little keep-a graph almost that gets pulled up, and you can pull it out 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, 2 years to see what the graph's doing. It looks like this product has been high priced for quite a while. So if it is discontinued, it looks like it's been discontinued a while. It doesn't look like it's a fresh discontinuation. So we can also open this up in Amazon. So if we click on the ASIN, look, we get sorry we can't find that page. Normally I would take this ASIN and put it into Keepa just because I like to see a little more data than sometimes this specific graph within Smart Scout gives you. It's a really good place to start, but since I pay for Keepa as well, I also just like to cross-check the information, but Keepa's not bringing it up probably because that listing is dead. So what do you do when you hit a dead end like this? I like to do further research within Google to see if there are any other marketplaces selling it, and you can figure it out that way. Also, I like to check the brand's website, because if this product isn't on the brand's website anymore, that's also a good sign. Olay.com. And under whips, they only have 3 listed, and it's Regenerous whips, not Luminous. So this is another good sign that the Luminous Whip product is probably discontinued. So let's come back to Google and see what other information we can dig up. There's actually another Amazon listing that is not deleted. And we can see that this is because this is the non-SPF version, the SPF version is deleted. But there's nobody on it, so that's more data, that's another good sign. So I'm gonna take this ASIN and throw it into Keepa, and we can see that Amazon was last seen sometime, actually I can just turn everybody else off, last seen around early to mid 2023 and then fell off. And then the prices have gone up ever since. This is all a good sign that the product is discontinued because it's off the manufacturer's website, the listing is empty, Amazon fell off a while ago and the chart kind of continues upwards. So yes, I would say this is a discontinued product. So let's go back to the drawing board. We can go back to our product list and pick up where we left off, which is highlighted. So let's keep looking. Next thing I'm seeing here is this Olay Deep Gel Cleanser with tea tree essential oil with a buy box price of $37.18. Let's click on it and get some more information. This has 5 sellers on it, and they're all asking a pretty high price. If we pull out our Keep a Chart or Smart Scout version of Keep a Chart here, we can see a pretty good upturn in price, which means the price has continued to go up, which means it is probably discontinued. Let's open it up in Amazon and see what it looks like there. Okay, $36.91, it's not too bad. I'm gonna throw it into Keepa to get a little more information. Yeah, so we can see that Amazon fell off pretty much at the beginning of 2024, and then the price was zoop, goes right up. So that's a great sign. We can also cross-check the Olay website. And within the Olay website, we see that it is out of stock for purchase. So yes, I'm gonna have to say that this is probably discontinued. And it also shows us that the original price was $12.49. And compared to the current selling price of $36.91, this is both discontinued and profitable. So we did it. We found at least one profitable discontinued product, but we can do better than that. We can probably find more. Let's go right back to our list, pick up where we left off, and see what else we can find. Okay, so we have another thing right underneath it, which is a single pack Olay serum stick for $36.98. Let's pull that open and take a look at the chart. So somebody who's been on this continuously for a month. And yep, it has gone up. It was at 1.19, 12, 36. Got that classic line, shoot up, which is what we're looking for. Let's open the ASIN in Amazon to see what's going on. It has 4 sellers on it, all around the same price. Let's check the other serum sticks that are on this listing because it's a variation. Sometimes we can find extra bolos doing that. So B3 and cactus water, only selling for $14.21. And the sake serum, $22.49 with 4 sellers. So this is gonna depend on how much this is to purchase retail. And again, we can try and determine that 2 different ways. One is by looking at the manufacturer's website or seeing what Amazon was in stock for it. So the last time Amazon was in stock for it, they were charging $17.80. So that could be what the retail price is, but I'm curious to see if it says on the Olay website. So what I've been able to bring up is the Refreshing Press Serum Stick, which is not the vitamin C one, but it does say the retail price is $9.99. So that was this one, right? Yeah, Refreshing. $22.49, original retail price of $10. That's kind of a bolo too, and then I'm gonna go on a limb and say that probably all these serums might have retailed for around $10, which would make basically all of them except the cactus water one currently profitable. So I'm gonna say, again, because the chart rises, Amazon fell off of it, and they're out of stock on the Olay website, and the original retail price is $10. These are a profitable bolo. So I've shown you what the software can do to mine gems. I want to show you some other things it can do that I think are interesting. Again, this is mostly geared towards private labels and people who want to get like very specific brand and category data. But here's something that I just think is a little fun to play with, and it's called the seller map. And you can drill down on basically any area and see all of the Amazon sellers in that specific area. So this one has it capped at the highest 1,000 sellers. If you try and go to 300,000, it's like, you sure you want to do that? That's a lot of data. So let's do 200,000 just for fun. Yeah, look at every Amazon seller that has their address listed in Florida, from big guys to small guys. So you could click on competition in your own backyard to see what they're doing. So this Triquarta Health sells almost $5 million a year. 5 million, what? Oh my gosh, 5 million a month. So this is a big fish. And you can see it's because they are a private label supplement seller. So you could see that there's somebody in your backyard who's just killing it in a specific category. I'm not saying to go like copy them or anything, but it does give you an idea of how other people run their Amazon businesses. Let's see if we can find a small guy. Let's see if we can find a retail arbitrage seller. So this person has a monthly revenue of about $3,000, and let's see what they are selling. So Yeah, I would say this is probably an arbitrage seller of some kind. They make a lot of money selling these little mini pinball machines. See, that's interesting. That's interesting data. It's just fun. Like, it's just interesting to me. Deals by T, monthly revenue of $2,600, and they are doing what? Retail arbitrage or wholesale. But when you see a lot of different products from different brands, my first thought is they're probably doing arbitrage. Estimated monthly revenue of almost $1,000 just from selling sunscreen. Now that's revenue, that's not profit, but still. So that's a fun little thing that you can do with this software as well that I think is just neat to drop into from time to time and just get an idea of what other successful sellers are doing. So maybe you think that you like the software, but you're not ready to pay for it yet. There is something free that you can get that I still think is very helpful, and that is this Chrome extension. So this Chrome extension will give you insights within the Chrome browser, like a free little profit calculator. You get access to that nice little Keep a chart, again, right in browser while you're looking at this stuff. And the Chrome extension is completely free. So I'm gonna put a link to that in my description for you to just download it and get a feel for it. And then if you decide you want to go on and get the software, you can upgrade it. But again, use my coupon code so you get a discount on your first 3 months. So let's size up a little bit and talk numbers. So while nobody paid me to make this video, nobody asked me to make this video, I'm just sharing it because it's like the one piece of software I would actually recommend and personally pay for and use. The people who make the software did reach out to me to offer my audience a coupon code if they do choose to use the software. And you'll get 25% off your first 3 months if you use my coupon code Cosmic25. I'm gonna leave a link in the description that will just fill in the coupon code for you, I believe. And I think the software is about $25 a month. And I find it worth it because I have found so many gems with this software. Like, it is crazy good. There was one product I uncovered that was not discontinued. It was just a shortage and there was nobody on the listing. Like, Amazon fell off. It was a listing that was doing something crazy, like 500 units a month. I hopped on it. I was selling the item like crazy. And I only found it because of this software. It has more than paid for itself. Now, my coupon code is a referral link, so I do get a small kickback if you choose to sign up. But again, I'm paying for the software on my own. So all that's gonna do is kind of help subsidize my own personal costs for the software. Like, I'm not gonna get rich off it or anything, trust me. I hope this video helped uncover an interesting way to find retail arbitrage bolos that you hadn't thought of before and that you're excited to go give it a try for yourself. Go mine some gems. I've given you the pickaxe. I've given you the location. Go start mining. I feel like it's the least I can do to try and help some of you Amazon sellers. Like, I've had people in my own bolo group that are like, I love your stuff, you're doing a good job with this, but I'm personally getting out of Amazon selling. Like, they've made it too hard for me to sell there now. And that breaks my heart because, like, I feel like I brought you guys in and now you're being kicked out. So I want to help any way that I can to sort of alleviate that pain. And if you decide you don't want to do any of this work for yourself, I do it on my Patreon. I give you a selection of researched bolos every week. So that's an option for you. It's normally full, which is another reason that I'm sort of showing you a way to get around that if you choose to. But my bolo group is only $5 a month, which is cheaper than paying for the software. But I only do these brand deep dives every now and then, so I'm not constantly finding this stuff, and it takes a while to filter into the group. But I'm just giving that as an option to you if you choose not to do this for yourself. Now get out there, have fun, and mine some of these gems.